Osborne here. Let's do the FX Education Outlook for May 18th, 2017. You can see we're starting out with the Euro Pound, and we broke through this multi-month trend line several weeks ago, almost 2 months ago, about a month ago, and we went up and retested that line, came down and put in a new low as we approached this previous pivot that was already broken here, and then we went down and retested that again back up to test this trend line that we initially had again one more time. So there's a lot of strength in this last run here. It looks like it does want to go higher. What we want to do is see if we can have some confidence that it can. So two things that we want to watch out for is, do we have a nice close above this point again, but more importantly, can we break above this weekly line? This weekly line right now is around 0.86454. So let's see if we can get a close above there for us to go higher. It might be a lot to ask. For the Euro US dollar, you can see that we've made this nice run up, and we're actually stalling a little bit as we approach this previous pivot here of 1.11396 made way back in November of 2016. So we're getting almost a tweezer pattern here and a hesitation, and we'll see if we can try to move back up. Now, where's a good potential entry for this? Well, it might be by looking at the 120 chart. We have this little mini downtrend here that gives us an opportunity to get in, and possibly if we can get above this, which currently is around 1.11142, that's where this intersection line is here, then perhaps we can see a run up to this previous pivot and up to here and further up. We are looking bullish on the daily and the weekly, so let's see if that run can happen. So watch for that break on the 120. For the US dollar Swissy, you can see we've broken this previous pivot here, which was back at about a low of 0.98128, and after that we put in a little bit of a spinning top and a retest so far, and it looks to me like it wants to run a little bit lower towards the bottom of this pennant pattern that we have here. We are approaching the 200 bar moving average, which is here on the weekly chart, but we are looking pretty bearish on our weekly and our daily, and we'll see what happens. We did break the monthly pattern, and that is a tendency for us to continue heading lower. For the pound yen, you can see we did try to make this move up to the previous pivot back in the middle of December of 2016 before it started this run down, and there's been this nice move, this nice run up, breaking the previous pivots as we went up. It just couldn't break above this past one here. So we can see it also on the weekly chart maybe a little bit more clearly how it's struggling to go beyond this previous pivot, same as here. So let's see what happens. It's trying to make that move. We're still bullish to neutral on the weekly, but we're losing a little bit of steam, so we're going to look for a potential entry here, better than just the support that we're seeing here by the 200 bar moving average on the 240. For the Aussie yen, you can see we have this trend line that we have in the daily that we've been watching, and we did break pretty significantly through there, and in one bar really went through and did a lot of damage and broke right down through this previous pivot here, and almost in the next session closed pretty close to the low of this previous pivot here, but then the bulls came back into play and fought back to bring it back to this previous pivot here. So right now it's a little bit of a tug of war going on here. We want to see what's happening, but what's significant about it is that we broke the weekly. So now that it's been broken, let's see if it's either going to bounce as it goes up and retest the weekly, or will it resume its move down lower. And the big point we're going to watch for the break is at the 81.474 point. You can follow me on StockTwits and Twitter at the name under the name TraderJohnO, and that'll do it for today.